Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here, which if you're watching this video you probably are because I only have like a couple videos posted. But I'm Brittany, I'll be 26 years old actually in 2 days. I have a 3-year-old little boy and I'm engaged. I'm a real estate agent here in New York and I'm also a mom. So my content is all about what it's like to be a real estate agent, what it's like to be a mom, different vlogs, and you know, all that comes with life. My fiance and I are actually trying for baby number 2, so a lot of my content right now is kind of that, and that's really what's been going on in my life. So I wanted to kind of sit down and film this video for you guys to give you a little bit of a backstory on what our journey to conceiving baby number 2 has been like. And I filmed this video actually a couple times. I didn't like how it turned out. My son was running around and screaming and it's just been crazy. I just sat down and filmed this video. It was like 25 minutes long and then I realized my mic wasn't plugged in. So, story of my life. Now I'm filming it again for the 2nd time today. So, hopefully I remember to say everything because I really liked the first take that I took. So we'll see. But basically I will rewind to almost 8 years ago. So I was 18 when I was diagnosed with PCOS, and if you don't know what that is, it is polycystic ovary syndrome. What I understood it to be at the time is basically an imbalance of hormones that prevents you from getting your period, basically, to sum the whole thing up. Little did I know it's a lot less, like it's a lot different than just that. There's more steps to it, there's different types of PCOS, different causes, etc. I can't talk, like I said, for everyone. I can only talk about my own personal experience, so I just want to throw that out there. So like I said, I was 18 when I was diagnosed with it. For me at the time, it was basically an imbalance of hormones. My testosterone levels were like up here and my estrogen levels were like all the way down here. And my doctor told me, you know, she asked me, are you trying to have kids? And I said, well, not at this time. I'm not in a relationship. I'm, you know, not in the point in my life where I want to have kids. But I do definitely want to be a mom. And she was basically like, okay, so first step is to get on birth control. That's the only way to like help you. That'll induce your period. And the great thing is, you know, if you do decide to become sexually active, you don't have to worry about getting pregnant because you're on birth control. And I was like, okay, like that, okay, I guess that's the only reason, the only way to like really treat it and get a period. So I did a birth control, I went on birth control, and then she was like, but when it is time, you know, when you decide that you do want kids, we'll have to talk about that because the chances of you actually having kids are very slim. And that was like a punch to the gut because all I ever wanted to be was a mom. All I ever wanted in life was to have children. I wanted to have like 6 kids. I wanted, you know, like that was my thing in life. I wanted to be a mom. So I remember leaving her office and that appointment, I just found out I had PCOS, which I didn't really know the extent of like how serious it could be or anything. Like I was just literally given a packet and told, you have PCOS, it's caused because of your imbalance of hormones and you can only fix it by going on birth control. So that was literally the appointment. I went to my car and I pulled my eyes out because, you know, being told, even though I wasn't trying at the time, even I wanted kids. So being told that I possibly, you know, will never have them and the chances of me having them are very slim, like it was heart-wrenching. And I vividly remember going to my car and crying. Like I remember sitting in the office, I remember going back to my car at the end of the appointment very vividly. And it was a really like rough day and like rough point. But then I heard so many stories of like, well, not so many stories, like my aunt told me she had PCOS and she went on to have 2 kids. And then her PCOS went away, she said. Same thing I think with my mom, like she had it, but then she still had my brother and I, and things like that. So I was like, oh, like maybe it's not so slim after all. Come to find out, it is really slim, like for me at least, because of the way that my body is and my case is. So 4 years went on, wound up getting in a relationship, and my now fiance and I had a little oopsie in an accident, and I wound up getting pregnant with my son. And he is like a little miracle. He is my miracle baby, because I can't imagine going through what I'm going through now, but like not having him, like if this was for my first child. But so I had my son in March of 2019, so I wound up getting my period back pretty soon. And I got my period, I think, when probably he was like 3 months old, I want to say, like no more than 3 months. So April, May, like June, let's say. Let's just go with June of 2019. And I thought, oh, my body's gonna fix itself, like I'll get my period every month, such and such. Well, after June, or whatever month it was either May or June, I did not get my period again. Like it just did not come. So with the fact of us not wanting another baby at that point in my life, I was like, this is great birth control, like this is great, which in reality it is great birth control, but it's not healthy, like at all. It's not getting your period. So, you know, I can punch myself for that one, but you know, we also didn't want another baby because we were living in a really small apartment. We just had our son, like I said, so we didn't want another baby at that point. So we waited, and then we wound up moving into our new home. We have all the space we could ever want, and our son is now over 3, and you know, we want another baby. So in September of 2021, I went to my doctor's. My son was like 2.5 at the time, and basically I just thought my doctor was gonna like put me on something and then we'd get pregnant. Little did I know, it's like a whole process, and I didn't expect it to be as complicated as it is. So keep in mind, I never got a period from June 2020 until this point, September 2021, over a year. My doctor did the blood work and everything, and my hormones came back normal. So like I said in the beginning of my PCOS diagnosis, I was under the impression it was caused by imbalance of hormones. That was it. And, you know, just very vague information. So when my hormones came back normal, I was like, then why am I not getting my period? Do I still have PCOS? Like, what is this about? And my doctor was like, yeah, like your hormones can fluctuate every day, you know, but to make sure that, you know, this is the reason you're not getting your periods, let's do some tests. So basically, the blood work came back normal. I came back perfectly healthy, which thank God, but I was kind of also like, well, then why do I not get my period? She explained it to me, and then I had an ultrasound done. And that ultrasound revealed that I have like a bunch. Like she was like, she looked at the ultrasound scan and she was like, yeah, here's your reason. She was like, you have a lot of cysts on your ovaries. So basically now, my hormones are good, at least the last time I checked, and the reason for my PCOS is the cyst on my ovaries. Not to say my hormones are always perfectly fine, but now I know like the main cause of what why I'm not getting my periods and the cause of my PCOS at this current point. And again, this is just my situation. I haven't checked my blood work since like September, so it's been quite a while. So my hormones could be totally out of whack, but we knew now what course of treatment we wanted to do, what course of action we wanted to take. So I wound up doing metformin, and I did that for I think 3 months, so September, October, and November, I think, or like October, November, December I did it. And that was to, I believe, induce my period and hopefully, we could get pregnant. That did not induce my period. It did not work for me. So I went on birth control. And the purpose of me going on the birth control was to basically like flush out my system because I hadn't gotten a period in so long. I started birth control in, I believe, December or January of 2022. December 2021 or January 2022. So until that time, I didn't get a period. My first period came that time. Let's just go with January. So January 2022. And then, once I did that for a couple months of the birth control to flush out my system, we decided to start Clomid. So at some point during this whole process, I was taking Provera for a little bit, but that obviously didn't result in a pregnancy or anything. But I do want to put that out there that I also did take Provera at one point. So my birth control, I finished that, I got my cycle on that last pack, and I started Clomid. And it was really tracking my ovulation and everything, and I did not get pregnant. So that was the first cycle with Clomid. This time around, I'm on my second cycle with Clomid, and to start that, I'm off the birth control. I started taking Provera. So I took Provera for I think 10 days. I took Provera for 10 days once a day, and I'm on my period now, and hopefully this cycle I will get pregnant. So what we're doing is Provera and then Clomid. So I take the Provera for 10 days or until I get my period, but no more than 10 days. Get my period, which like I said, I'm on now. And then on day 5 of my cycle, which is in 2 days, I have to start taking Clomid. And Clomid will hopefully make me ovulate, and we get pregnant. So it didn't work last month, like I said. I'm hopeful this month, but with my doctor, she is not a fertility specialist, so there's only, so many cycles we can do with Clomid. I think it's 3. So this is the second, so if it doesn't work this month, we have one more try. And then we'd have to go to a fertility specialist, so crossing my fingers. But that's basically a summary of my infertility, what's going on with me, and just a little bit of a backstory. I wanted to film this just to share my story, like I said, so you guys are kind of aware of why it's been so hard for us to conceive baby number 2, and also just to put it out there that you are not alone. I thought I was alone. I didn't realize how unfortunately common PCOS is and infertility for women and men. And just to spread awareness and just let you know that you're not alone. And it's okay to talk about. Unfortunately, infertility is normal, but also it takes a huge toll on you, mentally and physically, because, did I think at 26 years old, getting pregnant this time around was going to be so hard? No. I thought it was going to be a lot easier, and it just hasn't been. Yeah, like I said, I just wanted to document my journey and share it with you guys, and hopefully as I continue this process, I will have good news and we'll get pregnant. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, leave them down below, and be on the lookout for my next video. Bye.